Good evening, residents of Everett, Washington. I'd like to call to order the Everett City Council meeting of August 13th, 2025. For information on council meetings and how to participate, please visit everettwa.gov/citycouncil. Clerk, will you please take the roll?
Mayor Franklin.
Excused.
Councilmember Bader.
Here.
Councilmember Ryan.
Here.
Councilmember Vogely.
Here.
Councilmember Fosse.
Here.
Councilmember Tui.
Here.
Vice President Zarlingo.
Here.
President Schwab.
Here. Before I proceed, just as far as agenda item, consent item number 8 has been removed from our agenda today. So at this time, I'd like to ask Councilmember Tui to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Flag of the United States of America, for which it stands, one nation. Thank you, and I'd like to ask Councilmember Fosse to read the land acknowledgement.
The City Council wishes to acknowledge the original inhabitants of this place, the Shtahobes people and their successors, the Tulalip tribes. Since time immemorial, they have hunted, fished, gathered on, and taken care of these lands and waters. We respect their sovereignty, their right to self-determination, and honor their sacred spiritual connection with the land and water. We will strive to be honest about our past mistakes and bring about a future that includes their people, stories, and voices to form a more just and equitable society.
Thank you very much. All right, on to old business. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes for August 6, 2025?
Councilmember Ryan, so moves.
Second.
Motion and seconds been made. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Bader.
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan.
Yes.
Councilmember Vogely.
Yes.
Councilmember Fosse.
Abstain.
Councilmember Tui.
Yes.
Vice President Zarlingo.
Yes.
President Schwab.
Yes. Okay, we're moving on to public comments, which includes written comment acknowledgement. Under our rules, written comments shall be considered in the same manner as oral comments. Persons submitting comments must provide their name and city of residence. Written comments require this to be made part of the official council record. Good evening, Angie. Do we have any written comments or any public comments are here in the chambers?
Good evening, President Schwab. We have no written comments, and we have one individual here that would like to speak when we get to item number 10.
Okay. All right, so now we'll go on to council comments, and we'll begin with Vice President Zarlingo. Okay, we're going to stand by. I'm sorry.
I'll make it easy, Council President. No comments and no report. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay, Councilmember Ryan, thank you.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Earlier tonight, we had our Parks and Built Environment Committee meeting, and Co-Chair Vogely facilitated this evening's meeting, and she has graciously offered and generously offered to let me give the update tonight. We had a really great update from Frank Hong and from Julie Willey with our Community Development Committee about the 2026 to 2030 Everett housing strategy. And it was a really great and in-depth update. I would really encourage folks to go to our YouTube channel and see the full presentation about the work that our team is doing to address housing in our community and housing affordability, and using our Rethink Housing Plan, our newly adopted comprehensive plan, and some other regional plans about housing to address housing shortfall, housing affordability, and just ensuring that everybody in the city of Everett has a place, affordable place to call home. So there's 10 pillars that are going into the city's work on it, and council will be receiving a full briefing coming up in September about our housing strategy plan moving forward. So I feel grateful to know that our team of experts is working really hard on this, and I think that our community members should feel glad to know that they have a lot of brain power working on addressing housing affordability in our city, which also bleeds over to other neighboring jurisdictions as well. We also had a bit of a walk-on resolution tonight. I think as folks who've been following along diligently to our council meetings are aware, during some of our updates about the multi-use stadium, Councilmember Fosse has made requests for ensuring that council priorities as we move forward with considering the plan for a multi-use stadium council's priorities are considered in that process. And so she had worked with Council President Schwab and myself to draft a resolution that further itemizes some of those priorities. Broader categories include economic development, local investment, environmental and public health standards, cultural and educational value, community benefits and access, transportation, parking and parking infrastructure, labor and workforce standards, and ongoing oversight and accountability. And so the ask was for this draft to be reviewed by our Parks and Built Environment Committee members, myself, Co-Chair Vogely, Councilmember Zarlingo, to provide edits to Angie, our executive assistant, by next Friday. And then after that, it will go through legal administration for comments and then come back to full council for final review and hopeful adoption at a future to be determined date. So just wanted to make sure that the public was aware of that and fellow council members as well. So that's my comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Vogely.
Thank you for all of that information. You do that so well, and I have no other comments.
Okay, Councilmember Fosse.
Just briefly, I'm excited that the resolution has seen some air, and thank you for taking the time to bring that up at the subcommittee meeting today. The only other comment was recently attended the Delta Neighborhood Shakespeare in the Park event, and it was fantastic. There was lots of families there. They had hot dogs and popcorn and all sorts of things. It was a real good event. So if you missed it this year, you'll have to wait till next year, but make sure not to miss it.
Thank you. Councilmember Tui.
Yeah, just wanted to remind people that this weekend, the Fresh Paint Festival is happening downtown. And hopefully the storm will come and go on Friday so we can have a good festival on Saturday and Sunday. Lots happening. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Zarlingo.
Just one item. I represented the city at the most recent meeting of Snohomish County tomorrow. That committee's exploratory subcommittee, which is a committee periodically working on just what Snohomish County tomorrow ought to be doing, what issues they should address. And they've decided generally on 4 things: housing, economic development, transportation and infrastructure, and health and human services. And then specifically in those, who should be represented and what Snohomish County tomorrow should do more specifically. This time was a deeper dive into transportation and infrastructure, roads, communications, internet, broadband, water, sewer, parks, and trails, which I suspect is fresh in everybody's mind because I've been working on comprehensive plan updates. So anyway, progress in that area, hoping that that kind of inter-community committee is as functional as possible, but also trying to keep the workload reasonable and avoid duplication, because it's easy for people to kind of get meetinged out on these things and reduce effectiveness. And there's going to be a summary of that in October and a full presentation to the General Assembly in December, which is what kicked off this subcommittee in the first place. That's it.
And thank you. For my report, for those who might be watching, I just want to acknowledge administration, the city's effort in putting information about our future projects, whether it's a bridge at on Mukilteo Boulevard or a park in the Riverside neighborhood. They're on there and they're pretty easy to get. So I just want to recommend that those who might be watching or see this is surf around on our city website. There's a lot of good information on there. So pretty exciting about some of the plans that we have for our future in our city. Okay, moving on to administrative report.
I have a couple of things. So first, a couple weeks ago, Councilmember Fosse at the July 16th meeting asked about our procedures for vehicle replacement. So we have a 10-year vehicle replacement list. It's generated through a software application that staff uses. That master list is maintained by our motor vehicle division staff. Vehicles get points based on factors like age, maintenance cost, mileage, hours, overall condition. And then once they hit a total of 15 points, they move over to the 10-year list based on estimated and adjusted replacement dates. And that's really just a starting point. So then staff department representatives meet and discuss to make sure that those vehicle replacements are warranted each year. And actually make sure to do that through an in-person conversation. So that's kind of the behind the scenes, how that replacement list is assessed. A couple items to highlight on your consent agenda. 4 and 5 are related to continuing our emote program, thanks to a second state grant to fund that work. Like cities all around the country, there's members of our community on our streets struggling with substance use disorder. We've prioritized a balanced approach and encouraging the acceptance of compassionate services, but also requiring accountability for the harm that comes from those impacts. Further reduce barriers to treatment, the city partnered with Concord Clinics, and that's what launched the Emergency Mobile Opioid Team in Everett, that's EMOTE. That brings treatment and peer counseling directly to those who need it most. And since it launched a little over a year ago last July, the team has had 601 meaningful contacts with clients and between clients and peers. 45 substance use disorder assessments have been completed. 375 inpatient rehab referrals were made, 54 detox placements, and then 293 referrals to outpatient treatment with Conquer. So it's been a really powerful program, and we're glad that we have that funding from the state to continue it and that continue that partnership as well. And a heads up, because I think we won't necessarily have a whole consent or a whole cover sheet for this, but in a couple weeks at your meeting on the 27th, Northwest Innovation Resource Center will be joining me to do a short little update, probably as part of either mayor's comments or admin update, somewhere there at the beginning. There's a little special presentation. The director, Diane Kamyanka, and then a graduate from their data analytics program that the city helped fund will be there to kind of talk about how that program worked and give you a little presentation, a short one. So, okay, that's all that I have.
Any questions? I had a quick question about our schedule for our budget committee. What do you have on your calendar at this point?
Well, we have budget committee. I'm assuming you want to start that. We didn't talk about it yesterday, but I'm assuming you want to start that at 5:30 next week. The finance folks were working on a presentation, a little bit of the kind of monthly financial report that you get by email, but some highlights to talk about that as a group, and so that you hear that and are able to ask questions. And then I think we thought we would talk a little bit about the rainy day fund, just because it's another source of funds for variety of things like economic downturns. We don't talk about it all that often, so a good refresher, and for the community as well, probably. And we won't have information about budget balancing measures and deficit for the 2026 budget. We won't have that yet for the August meeting. We will have it for September. They're working on like all of the things that feed into that number. So for next week, their staff are working on kind of a more like sort of a higher level look at like how that number is generated, how it maybe changes through the path, like over the years, maybe look back a few years ago at what we predicted the deficit would be and kind of what those numbers really mean. So like educational stuff, and then the actual numbers would be ready for the September meeting.
Thank you, Rach.
The
Question?
timely meeting. I'm glad that you asked after I had that meeting.
Yeah, great. Thank you for being prepared. Councilmember Ryan.
Great, thank you. With that update, I would appreciate an update on our COVID recovery funds, some of the projects, what the current balance is, and any upcoming allocations that might be included in that. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. On to our city attorney, David Hall.
We're going to be bringing to you sometime in the next few weeks another Purdue Pharma opioid settlement proposal from bankruptcy court. If you recall, a couple of years ago, we approved a settlement, and then the court actually rejected that settlement framework because it let the Sacklers off the hook. There's another proposal that the court has approved, and we're going to be asked to get your authorization to participate. I don't have the formula, so I don't know how much money is at stake, but it's obviously something we will want to do because we don't want to be one of the 5,000 plaintiffs who goes at it alone in the future. But I'll have more information on that for you. We did receive just 2 days ago notices from the opioid settlement administrator. It's a group that administers all the opioid settlements that we have reached to date with the distributors, a couple of the producers, some of the pharmacies. And we will be receiving approximately $316,000 cumulatively from those various settlements we've entered over the years shortly.
Good news. Thank you very much.
And no executive session. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so moving on to our consent items. Before you, you have 8 items because we delayed item number 8 for, I didn't announce that earlier, but we're going to move it to the August 20th agenda. So do I hear a motion on items 1 through 9 minus item 8?
So moved.
Counselor Ryan seconds.
Motion seconds been made. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Bader.
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan.
Yes.
Councilmember Vogely.
Yes.
Councilmember Fosse.
Yes.
Councilmember Tui.
Yes.
Vice President Zarlingo.
Yes.
President Schwab.
Yes. Okay, moving on to a proposed action item, item number 10, Council Bill 2507-41. It's been read in the record. Are there any questions? Councilmember Bader.
Thanks, Council President. It might be for Lacey as well. Jennifer, I know you forwarded to us a draft of an amendment seeking to help clarify how juveniles and or the parents of juveniles could be held responsible for restitution or compensating for the damage the property owner might have incurred. And I'm still struggling with, I see obviously it's clear from 16, 17 and up, but still struggling. And I apologize if I didn't read it closely enough. What, if anything, we can do, not necessarily to penalize the juvenile, but to get compensation for the property owner whose property was damaged from by juveniles under 16.
And good evening,
Thanks.
council members. Lacey Offit. I do have an answer for you. For those juveniles under 15, RCW does allow for people who are victimized and their property damaged by individuals without an age restriction to bring a civil lawsuit against the parents. So that would be one avenue for a property owner to seek compensation for any damage done to their property. The city would also be able to take advantage of that as a plaintiff if we so chose. But because of the restrictions of RCW involving juveniles who are under the age of 15 and the real procedural hurdles to imposing infractions on juveniles in juvenile court, as well as the jurisdiction issues for our own court. We don't have jurisdiction over juvenile proceedings. There are certain limitations to what we can do in an EMC amendment.
Gotcha. Okay. I appreciate the clarification. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Before we go to any questions, was there a speaker? Okay.
So Brandon, if you could come to the podium and state your full name, city of residence, and you have 3 minutes to speak.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Brandon Islib. I'm in District 2, and I worked on this bill before you all saw it because I'm Seattle's code revisor, and it appears you took Seattle's bill to start with because 055 was right for our codification in Chapter 1007 because we had enforcement and penalty provisions that succeeded it. EMC 1062 has no such provisions, and you're introducing going by 5. So that perked my senses up as to other localization issues that might be in play here. So I am suggesting a technical amendment because the new penalty in 1062-055 uses responsible public or private party. And based on the definitions that exist in 1062-010, and you can see them on the same page of the bill, that should be responsible public agency or responsible private party. Basically, you haven't incorporated the city of Everett into this properly yet. And I wouldn't want, I'm trying to use my pedantry for good, but the litigious use their pedantry for whatever they use it for. And I wouldn't want you to go through that. And since I had worked on, it appears based on the code numbering that I had worked on this bill before that, I just figured you all should know since I live here. I've also used Everett legislation to start Seattle ordinances. So it is a two-way street, but I happened to see this was on the agenda and went, that looks really familiar. So that is my comment, and have fun with it.
And I think that we should put this gentleman together with Lacey and work out these technical details and come back to you with the final language next week.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? Councilmember Ryan.
Great, thank you. I also wanted just to, well, thank you, Brandon, for bringing that up, and you're hired. I also wanted just to state publicly too that part of the amendment included the suggestions that I had brought forward last week about the judicial leniency for changing that the courts will pursue to may pursue. So I just wanted to share that that was also included in the amendment, and the revision looks good to me. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, and our third and final reading, and maybe amendment, will be on the 20th of this month. Okay, so move on to item number 11, Council Bill 2508-42. First reading and ordinance amending ordinance number 4003-24, entitled Special Improvement Project, Forest Park Pickleball Court Installation. Fund 354, Program 093, to accumulate all costs for the project. Third and final reading will be August 27th, 2025. Are there any questions or comments at this time? Okay, we'll move on to Council Bill 2508-43. First reading, adopt an ordinance creating a special improvement project entitled Lions Park Lighting Project Fund 354, Program 106, to accumulate all construction costs for the project. Third and final reading will be August 27th, 2025. Are there any questions or comments from council? Okay, item number 13, Council Bill 2508-44. First reading, adopt an ordinance closing a special improvement project entitled Walter E. Hall Community Amenities. Fund 354, Program 092, as established by ordinance number 3971-23. Third and final reading, August 27, 2025. Are there any questions or comments from council? Okay, been read in the record, so we'll move on to our action item. Item number 14, Council Bill 2507-40, third and final reading, adopt an ordinance creating a special improvement project entitled Lions Park Skate Dot Fund 354, Program 098, to accumulate all design, permitting, and construction costs for the project in the amount of $360,000. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Councilor Ryan seconds.
Motion has been made in second. Are there any questions or comments? Councilmember Ryan.
Thank you. Just a comment to thank Snohomish County Councilmember Megan Dunn for her generosity of using some of her REACH dollars to provide funding for this project. It's one of those nice things from that the county can provide, so that, you know, we wouldn't, I don't think the city would have been able to do this project without it. So thank you, Councilmember Dunn.
Okay, seeing no comments. More comments, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Bader.
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan.
Yes.
Councilmember Vogely.
Yes.
Councilmember Fosse.
Yes.
Councilmember Tui.
Yes.
Vice President Zarlingo.
Yes.
President Schwab.
Yes. Okay, there's no further action. Meeting will be adjourned.